Welcome back. While President Abdel al-Sisi followed up on Saturday on the Tanzania projects as well as major development projects at Cairo and South Sinai. The President was also briefed on the progress in urban development projects underway in Old Cairo while preserving and restoring architecture and splendor. President Sisi also announced on Wednesday that the country is actively working to increase its agricultural and through land reclamation program aiming to cover approximately 3.5 million faddans. Well, to shed more light on this, we have the pleasure to have this phono with our dear guest, Mr. Abdel Rahman, political analyst and journalist. Good afternoon, sir.
Well, good afternoon to you and hello to the dear viewers.
Thank you so much. Well, Mr. Abdel Rahman, what is the importance of Egypt's investment in Africa?
I believe that to start with such a project like the new dam that Egypt is building in Tanzania is a very important project, along with other projects that Egypt is building in Tanzania and other friendly and brotherly countries in Africa, preserving the roots of Egypt and reviving the important and the strategic relations with our continental partners and counterparts in this very important time. I believe that Egypt, by maintaining and implementing such sustainable development projects in Africa, is building the base for a strong and sustainable relations economically and politically and even militarily with our friends in the continent, which means that we are protecting not only the independence of those countries by strengthening their economies, as long as we are strengthening our own economy, but also we are fighting back against any influences of the colonial powers, the economical colonial powers that are trying and still trying from hundreds of years to grab the fortunes and the resources of the continent, and it sucked out too many and too large, and on the account of millions of lives and millions and hundreds of years of taking what they don't have the right in our continent. Egypt is the shield for the country, for this continent, and it's the biggest country, and it's the biggest brother to all our brothers in the dark continent.
Yes. So, Mr. Abdel Rahman, how do you view the significance of the projects as of the Tanzania dam, as it's one of the largest of its kind in the Nile Basin countries? And what is the role exactly of Egypt in building the Tanzania dam and the potential of this dam, its capacity, everything about it, please?
Well, we have 2 important points about this project. By building the Julius Nyerere Dam in Tanzania, first, we are setting an example on how to build mutual understanding projects and mutual understanding relations economically and on the basis of the development, common development, mutual development for both nations. This is not only a huge and a mega project that Egypt is building in Africa, but also an extension for the mega projects that Egypt is building right here in Egypt. Second, we are answering and giving to the Ethiopian nation an example on how to build mutual developmental projects not without harming any of the parts of those projects, and we can answer to the Ethiopian demands of building its own dam, but without harming the rest of the countries, the Nile Basin. I believe we have too many targets we are already have achieved with starting such a great project that is already about to start, and also we have all the time new projects to be established with cooperation with the African nations, and we are giving hands to all the Black Continent for its own nations. By the way, Tanzania has a very important and a significant importance to Egypt, because from Tanzania there was an old and ancient river that was going through our lands on our western bank, and this ancient river is the reason that we have the capacity and the ability that we can recultivate and reclaimate the lands in the desert, or what's so-called desert in our western bank, which is just with the latest effort we can reculture it again, we recultivate it again, and make it a green Egypt again, along with our friends in Tanzania and our friendly countries in the continent.
Yes, also, Mr. Abdurrahman, the President was following also the development projects underway in Old Cairo in Egypt. So what is the importance of the development work that the state is going through or making in Old Cairo in preserving heritage and preserving and restoring the Egyptian identity and architecture?
As you have just mentioned, we are preserving our own identity as a nation. Not only we are building a new capital that the new Egypt deserves, but also we are preserving our own identity, our own heritage, by renewing our own old and ancient civilization with all its faces. We already building the new museum for our ancient roots and our ancient civilization that was the first civilization of all, and the first language written at all before even 10,000 years. We are building the new Egypt based on preserving our own identity, side by side, by using the latest and the newest measures of building new cities. This strategy, this vision that that are applied throughout the leadership of the military companies and the military association is very important, and it was never applied before since maybe hundreds of years. We are preserving and saving our own history, our own identity, our own roots in this country. No country without roots can build a new future. Only a nation that realizes how deep the roots are in history can build its future based on a strong base.
Yes. Also, Mr. Abdurrahman, the President also reviewed and followed up achievements in the developmental projects that are taking place in Sinai. And we all know that Sinai is that precious part of Egypt that we all, our own aspiration is to find it all inhabited, and the impact of the developmental projects also and its importance on the achieving Egypt's goal of Plan 2030 of sustainable development.
After our great triumph against the terroristic groups that are masterminded by the Mossad and other enemy intelligence. We have started so fast the sustainable project development in Sinai. We have started to cultivate the land. We made the people in Sinai really feel that they belong to this country, unlike they felt and witnessed for decades before. By building and rebuilding Sinai as the eastern front that is facing the most dangerous threats against the Zionist existence and its arms and its allies. By building our own projects in Sinai that are implemented by the military corporation and its associates with the private sector and other companies, we are rebounding our own identity. We are giving hope for the nation, for the Egyptian nation in Sinai that have suffered for decades. We have stopped terrorism, and we have stopped cultivating the opium and other drugs products in Sinai. We are now building the new Sinai. The new Sinai is really being built right now. We have witnessed how important the agricultural projects are important and fruitful, and given hundreds of thousands of opportunity for work for Sinai people.
Yes.
And also we have the new arena, the new port,
yes.
the Arish port, which is a very significant and a very important
yes.
project for the national security of Egypt.
Yes. So, Mr. Abdurrahman, also the president have announced earlier that the country is seeking to increase its agricultural land through a land reclamation program. So, how would this program boost the agriculture sector and would have influence in Egypt's economic process?
Well, I believe that the leadership by Mr. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi really believe on how to build our own country based on our own resources without needing any other power in the world. We have the know-how, we have the expertise, and we have the heart and the sovereignty to start up and to build up our own country on this agricultural project. That means we won't need to import from outside. Yes. That means that we can build our own country with the arms of the nation. And I believe such a very important project like the agricultural, we have witnessed an increasing expansion of the cultivated land and reclaimed land by millions of faddan. We are talking about only through 3.5 million faddan that are added to what we have already. This has never been accomplished since hundreds of years.
Yes.
I believe that it's time for the nation to stand all around its leader and to get on the work. It's time to work, and it's time to stand shoulder to shoulder with the leader of this nation to build our own country without and fighting back against any other influence from the east or the west.
Yes, I thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your valuable information, Mr. Amr Abdurrahman, the political analyst, writer, and journalist. Thank you very much for joining us over the phone. Ladies and gentlemen, a short break, and I'm coming back with you.